Alright, how you guys doing today? This is Mr. Muscarella coming at you. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to solve logarithmic equations and verify them using a TI84 graphing calculator. Now in the last video, we went and solved the log base 3 of x minus 9 plus log base 3 of x minus 3 equal to 2. We solved that algebraically. Now here, I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can check your solutions using your graphing calculator. So the first way, we're going to use the home screen, and what I want you to do is go ahead and we're going to type in 6 plus square root of 3, or 6 plus 3 square root of 2, 6 plus 3 square root of 2, and what we're going to do is actually stow that. We're going to store that as one of our variables, and we don't want to use x, and I'm going to just go ahead and use a. Now to do alpha, to get to store it in a, you're going to hit alpha, the alpha key, and notice your cursor is now going to be blinking and it's going to be an a. So alpha A, which is just the math button, we're going to store that there, and notice we get a value for that of about 10.2426 blah blah blah. Now from there, I'm going to go ahead and type in my expression, log base 3 of x minus 9 plus log base 3 of x minus 3, and if that is a correct solution, I should get 2 as an answer. Now there's two ways to type in log base 3 of x minus 9. The first way is going to be using the math button. Now if you arrow down, the very second thing you'll notice in choice A there is log base. From there, you'll just type in all the information that you need. Just be careful, instead of typing x minus 9, make sure we type in that value that we stored for a. So we're going to do alpha A, which is our 6 plus 3 square root of 2, and then minus 9. So we've got that part, and then we're going to do the same thing again, plus, and then log base 3 of x minus 3. Now there's a second way you can get to log base 3, and that's by hitting the alpha key again, but this time it's what I want you to do is hit the window button. Notice choice 5 where it says log base. We can get there that way as well. I don't know why it gave us that, so let's delete that. So alpha window and then answer choice 5, log base, and we just type in what we would have for that other part of it. So again, remember, make sure you use a. So a minus 3, and then when I'm done, when I hit enter, I should get a value of 2, and shazam, we do. It's correct. Alright, now, that's one way that you can access and type in log base 3. Now I had another solution, 6 minus 3, and then square root of 2. So we're going to go ahead and type that into our calculator, and then stow that. So we're going to hit the stow button, then alpha B. And then hit enter. Now notice on this one we get a value of 1.757 blah 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 blah. So now we're going to do that same thing. Now instead of typing log base 3 of a minus 9 that way, I'm going to show you a second way to do that, and that's just using the change of base formula. So what I could do is do alpha, so hit the alpha key and then y equals. That first option there is really nice because it's numerator slash denominator. So that way it'll kind of look like a fraction, which I always like because that way I don't have to worry about did I put in the right number of parentheses for it. So remember, for change of base, the base goes on the bottom. Base always goes on the bottom. So say that 3 times. Base, bottom, base, bottom, base, bottom. Base always goes on the bottom. So in the numerator, I'm going to just type log, because now we're going to use common log here instead of log base 3. Log, and then we stored that choice that we're going to use in B. So we're going to have alpha B, and then minus 9, close parentheses, and then in the bottom is just going to be log of our base, which our base is 10, so log of 3. I'm going to have that, and then plus, and then again, alpha y equals, numerator denominator, and then I'm going to have log of x minus 3, but instead of x, remember, make sure we use our variable. So log base, or log of x minus 3 is going to be log of b minus 3, and then in the bottom, we're just going to have, again, our common log of 10, and we're just going to type in 3. So log and then 3. Now, with this one, watch what happens on this one. Boom! We get this error, this non-real answer result. So that tells us that answer is an extraneous solution, because a non-real answer would be an imaginary answer. And we can't have that, not for this. So off we go. Now that's one way to try it, to check that, and that is using the home screen where we store a value into our graphing calculator. Now I could also use the feature that many of you are very familiar with. If you go into the second trace. Hit the second trace, and then we see these options here: value, 0, min, max, intersect, dy, dx, integral of f of x dx. Now, you've probably used the 0 feature quite a bit in your math careers using your graphing calculator, but what I want to do is introduce you, if you don't already know, about this value feature. So first thing you're going to do is go ahead and in y equals, in either way that you want to put it in there, type in the expression log base 3 of x minus 9 plus log base 3 of x minus 3. Again, you can do that using change of base formula, or you can just type it in the way we did initially. Now once we have that in there, hit zoom and then number 6. We'll see a little bit of the graph right there, and what I want to do is I want to type in that value, 6 plus 3 squared root of 2. So I want to see what that is. So if you go to second and then trace, again, we're just going to use this value feature, number 1. Now I could type in 6 plus 3 square roots of 2, or if you wanted to, you could actually use the variable that we stored it in before. So 6 plus 3 and then square root of 2. Come on, square root, there you are. Square root of 2. So if I type that in that way, notice what's going to happen here. Boom. I'm going to get an invalid error. So that's not cool. What do you mean invalid? Before I verified I got an answer, and now I'm getting this invalid error. So the invalid error just means if I take a look at my window, so in my window, I have to quit out of here first. Then if I look at my window, I'm only going from negative 10 to positive 10. And if you recall, so let's kind of go back to our home screen real quickly. The value of 6 plus square root of 3, or 6 plus 3 square roots of 2, that was 10 point something. So I've got to make sure my window, so I have to go back to my window setting and make sure my x max is more than 10. So I'm just going to type in 15. And then if I take a look at my picture, see it's going to start, I'm going to have a little bit more there on the picture. Again, I'm going to hit second and then trace and then value, but this time I'm going to be a little bit lazy. I'm just going to alpha and then a, because that's what I've stored there for that. And boom, look, right there, y equals 2. Shazam, we're rock stars. All right, so that's how you can check your solution using your TI84 graphing calculator for solving logarithmic equations. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.